This was a lot of fun, this one. It took a long time with pandemic and 2 strikes. And so it was 7 years that we were working on Top Gun Maverick and this one. And so it was great. These sequences, I can't wait for audience to see it. I'm very, very excited. The underwater sequence they're going to see is, it's taken really years of development, really decades to kind of from one phase all the way back to Legend, and the underwater sequences that we studied and applied to this. Stuff that I'm now talking about that I didn't talk about for years was my dreams. And the times I remember being 4 years old and dreaming of making movies, and I remember being 18 years old and making taps and thinking, I want to do this the rest of my life. And this is my dream that I had when I was a kid, and suddenly it comes real. And that is the key. The key is that to reach for that, but also you have to work for it. And the thing is that it takes tremendous amount of dedication and passion, and but as I said, this is not my job. This is who I am, and it's a privilege. And people go, why don't you want a vacation? It's like, man, they don't know what it's like for me to be on a movie set.
Jumping out of a plane is your vacation.
Yeah, it is my vacation. And to be here and to be able to share it with people, this is beautiful for me. Oh my gosh, I had the barbecue today, and I was eating, I don't usually eat desserts, but I had to have these desserts today because we were working so hard. I thought, I earned it.
You earned it.
I earned it. I was like, I'm going to do it. I went in. I did it. It was amazing.
Love cake.
In Dallas, you got cake, but in Dallas, you also got to go for the barbecue.
Oh.
Amazing to be here in Texas and do this. You're going to see the film. I can't wait for you to see it. And hopefully on the biggest screen possible. Do I get afraid?
Yeah, you get afraid. I mean, come on.
Do I get really terrified?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you feel that, but it doesn't bother me, and it's something that the way that I prepare for things, I'm very methodical, and, I'd like to kind of crawl before I walk before I jog before I run before I sprint. I kind of work on gradients on things. Honestly, it's like I've just never been afraid to be afraid. It's not something that makes me not want to do something. If anything, I know the fear comes from an unknowingness, so I'm reaching for a knowingness with things. So anything that I'm taking on, and it's just producing these movies is going to be daunting. They're the most fun to produce. They're the most complex. There's so many moving pieces, plus I'm doing and developing all the stunts. I'm working with McHugh, we're working on story and character, training and supporting the actors. Making movies it's amazing. I mean, the amount of things that I learn every single day. There's just constantly, there's not a day that I'm not studying something, I'm not learning something about people, about myself. It's very exciting, very dynamic. My whole life when I'm taking on anything, I feel that pressure because I want to deliver. I remember being 8 years old and cutting grass and wanting to do a great job and trying to learn how do I do a great job, and that's how I feel. Like I'm someone who, that's not for me. I definitely, when I'm making movies, I'm making them, I'm doing things that I enjoy and I'm interested in, but I'm thinking of others, of, my crew and audiences and the studio, and that's kind of how I think about life. Oh man, and I am holding on. There's times like it was my arms, when I'm holding on to that wing, it was intense. There's so much happening on that wing when I'm flying. There's so many things that, from decades of flying airplanes and aerobatic airplanes, parachuting, and just understanding cinema. So when that airplane and we're doing things on the wing, I'm also perceiving what that pilot is perceiving with the airflow over the wing to ensure that the plane doesn't go into a stall, into a spin, because that aircraft, if it goes into that, it's unrecoverable. So I also know my position on the wing and the amount of drag that my body's creating in various positions. So when you see that airplane and it's going inverted and I'm in between the wings, I know I can feel the airflow over, but I'm also paying attention to performance, the camera, where McHugh is with that camera, the aerial photography, plus, how that aircraft is performing, plus I'm acting for that lens and for that shot. So there's so many things that are happening at once, and it just takes years and decades of training and doing these things, and then development through this sequence you know, because I hired the pilots. I trained the pilots on how to fly those aircraft with me on the wing, and we worked together to how do we create these shots.
Tom and I are always looking at each other at the end of every one and saying, we could do better. Now that I've done it, I know how to do it. The problem is you don't know how to do it until you've done it. Everything that we're doing in these movies, a lot of the stunts we're attempting, a lot of the sequences they've never been done. So you don't really know how to do them until they're finished, and then you wish you could do them over again. We have always had something, you know, the biplane sequence, the submarine sequence. There were always things we were talking about. I haven't quite worked out. Oh no, that's not true. I know exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
I know exactly what it is, and it's building upon things that we did in this one, particularly around the submarine sequence. Yeah, I got on the wing. I had to do that to understand how to write the sequence, and that's the real challenge of these. Is you can plan it all you want, you can storyboard it, and you just don't know what's going to happen until you get there because the physics hits you right in the face. So we have a rough idea of what we want to do, but experience has taught us not to dig too much into the plan because you're going to find out you don't know what you're doing. He's my best friend. He's a great collaborator, and he's a real inspiration. The score to these movies, when you're working on them as long as you have, yes, huge pieces of the score get stuck in your head, and you're washing dishes to the sound of the airplane chase. It takes a long time to get out of your head. You can't. You actually can't. You have to put that out of your mind. You have to put fear aside, stress, anxiety. You can't worry about the clock. All you have to worry about is safety, and are you focused, and are you completely aware of everything that's going on around you, and then you stress about it later. It really is, for me, I mean, what I take it to be, it's more of a thank you to the audience. It's really less about Ethan and more about what the audience has given us and what the audience has made the franchise. And that was my way of saying thank you. Terror. More than any stunts, more than any of the action we've shot in the movie, you just want the audience to come and have a great time. It's all in their hands now. Oh yeah, all the time. And there's a particular stunt in this movie. Have you seen the film? You know the very last stunt that he does in the film.
Yes.
Yeah, he did that 19 times, and on his 19th time, it was pretty gnarly. And he had an idea to do number 20, and I said, no, that's it. We're done. Don't anger the gods. We're moving on. It's beyond a privilege. This is what I grew up watching, you know, and what I loved about movies was going to the movies and seeing it on the big screen. And when I was a kid, that was the only way to see movies. And what Tom and I are really about is kind of rekindling people's emotional connection to that, the act of going to the theater, seeing it with a big crowd. I can settle this for you right now. West Coast is Red Vines, East Coast is Twizzlers, and anybody you ask, you could tell where they're from regionally by which one they choose.
Three-time Super Bowl champion, Emmitt Smith.
Good evening. Good evening. I've been a big fan a long time, all the way back to The Outsiders. And so,
he's the man. They call him him. That's him. He is all that. Mr. Tom Cruise and Mr. Chris McQuarrie. That's Emmitt Smith. I mean, come on. Amazing, man. It's great to see you.
Hey, y'all. How we doing? Hello. That's a great screen. That's what we want to see, right, with you?
This is it. And nothing makes us happier than a big full movie theater with everybody coming to see movies on the big screen. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. So hope you enjoy it. Everyone worked very hard for your pleasure. So hope you have a big smile afterwards. All right?
Have a great summer, everybody. Thank you.
Great summer. We'll see y'all.